Hello posture pupils, I'm Paula Moore, the posture doctor from posturevideos.com, and today I'm live from Toronto Airport doing a little posture cam. And we've got some fine specimens here, as you can see. So I'm just checking out these new airport lounge seats that they've designed. And let's take a look at the first gentleman. So as you can see in red, I've drawn in the curve of these new chairs. So they've added a lumbar support. Now, they might not be perfect. They might be too low or too high, depending on how tall you are, but they're better than the old seats, which the gentleman in the distance is sitting on. So first of all, the man closest to us, he's completely ignoring the lumbar support. And as you can see in white, his spine is curving completely the wrong way. In the distance, we look at the other gentleman, and he is slumped right down. Now, this may be a fault of the old chair design, where the armrests, seen in yellow, are too low. So in order to rest his arms so that he can use his iPod, or his iPad, I believe that is, he slouched right down. And if you look in white, I've drawn a line showing the amount of forward head carriage in this position. Really not good. So here we see the correct spinal curves. Even when we're sitting or standing, although these curves will alter in some degree, if we have the correct posture when we're sitting, we should still maintain our normal spinal curves. So what are the normal spinal curves? Let's take a look. So with normal spinal anatomy, we should have what's called a lordosis, a curving in at the neck, a kyphosis, a slight gentle curving outward through the thoracic spine, the middle back, and then another lordosis curving in through the lumbar spine. So let's check back to the first two gentlemen we were looking at. So the man closest to us, clearly he's lost his lumbar lordosis. He has forward head posture, the ear is in front of the shoulder. He has maintained his kyphosis in the mid-back. Maybe it's even a little more pronounced, what we call a hyperkyphosis. And being in this slumped position, he's completely flattened his lumbar lordosis, which is going to be giving the nerve strain and the discs a lot more stress. So why do we even care if the curves are in the right position? Well, let's think of our spinal curves like a garden hose. So in picture one here, we've got the normal garden hose, nice and straight with just some gentle curves in it. And we notice that we've got a great flow of water. Now let's look at the garden hose with the kinks, and let's compare that to the spines that are in the wrong postures. So when we've got a kink or a change in the ideal symmetry or the ideal curves of the hose, you can see that the flow of the water is altered. It doesn't stop, but it's certainly not as good as hose number one. So if we use that analogy to look at the spine, and we compare what's underneath the bony spine to what's underneath the hose, we see that what's underneath the bony spine is the spinal cord. Now, if you can imagine, when we've got our normal spinal curves, those nerves function optimally. The messages from the brain can go back and forth to the areas of the body like the hands, the heart, the stomach, the liver, the bowel, etc. All our blood vessels, glands, and body organs, our muscles, our joints, they're supplied with nice, clear information, good flow from the brain back and forth. So now think of the garden hose analogy. We put a kink in our spine, poor posture, start slouching like the gentleman we've seen, and suddenly we alter our flow. We're going to lessen the communication to the various areas of the body, the hands, the organs, the blood vessels, and glands. This is going to lower our health potential. So how do we think her flow is? How's the communication from brain down through the bony spine, out through to the organs, blood vessels, and glands? Probably not as good as if she was in the right or the ideal body alignment, that good, straight, gentle curve flow that we saw in the garden hose. How about his flow? Or how about his with a 90-degree curve in his spine due to texting? Do you think he's going to be at optimum health? Do you think his central nervous system can fully express itself and communicate from brain down through body? Not likely. So don't let this be you. This man I spied when I was just about to go and check in. Now, who knows the cause of his posture? One likely cause is lifestyle. He's a very tall man. He's probably been hunching a very long time. And it's tough to say, but I'd be willing to bet there's already arthritic changes in there. So a perfect correction for this man is unlikely. Don't let this be you. Make sure you have good flow.